I know that tonight is exciting for me for a couple of reasons, selfishly, but I just really want to be intentional with people. It's kind of one of my goals, just to make sure that I get to know your story, but then also maybe uncover some things that we didn't think we'd touch on. So with your life, with where you're from, start wherever you want to start, but what in the world brought you to where you're at?
Oh my goodness. Well, let's see.
Where'd you grow up?
Sikeston, Missouri, just 30 minutes south.
Okay.
And long story short, graduated, went to Missouri State, graduated school from there. Right after I graduated, my National Guard unit was called up. So I went to Iraq for 14 months in March of '03, and then came back, played music for a living. If you can believe that, yep. I played music for a living. And then took a job up in Iowa, and then now I own Minglewood Brewery.
Okay,
so
great.
It's just bouncing around all over. That's pretty quick.
I do love how you started it. Long story short,
yeah.
Right? So let's back up. You said 2003, okay? You're at Missouri State University in Springfield.
Yeah, at the time it was called Southwest Missouri State University. That's how old I am.
Okay, so you're at Southwest Missouri State University, and what's your major? What's your life look like day to day?
Major was ag business. It was emphasis in finance and management, which I'm not. I guess I'm using both of those. I realized really quickly that I'm not a good manager. I probably should have paid more attention in those classes, I guess. That's
so not a good manager, but now a business owner.
Yes.
So find people to do what you don't want to do.
Yeah, I've been able to, I think, find the things that I'm good at, and the stuff that I'm not good at, and kind of delegate that to other employees. Great employees.
Yeah, great leadership, and I like that you love your employees. So when it comes to 2003, you said your unit with the National Guard gets called to Iraq. So, I mean, how old are you at this time?
I don't even know. I was 22, 23.
22, 23.
22.
And you get this call. Now, from a lot of my friends that have been in the military, a lot of times it's that waiting game. Like, am I actually going to get to go into combat? Am I going to sit and train? So your unit actually gets called. What is that like?
So we were activated in March of '03. We were in Iraq in May of '03.
Wow.
And let's see, yeah, it was '03, right? Yeah, because I graduated in December of '02. And we were there for 14 months. We were heavy engineers, heavy equipment operators. And so we basically built we built BIAP, Baghdad International Airport. We built Mule Skinner and a bunch of other bases the names have changed since I left.
Okay.
Yeah, we were one of the first ones over there, and we went around doing a lot of engineer work, a lot of construction, roads, graders, loaders, scrapers, dozers. Yeah.
So from what I know, and it's very, very little, mind you, engineer is, I mean, you are the boots on the ground. You are literally, whatever is necessary, you're the one that's doing it.
Well, I will say that we had the best showers while we were there, because we have what's called horizontal and we have vertical. So horizontal deals with that's the heavy equipment operators. Vertical is the plumbers and construction. And look, we had a lot of experience, so we had really nice shower facility. That's the good thing about it.
And think about how much you enjoy just the simplicity of a good shower.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So 2003, and then how long were we in the military?
Well, I had I ETS'd while I was overseas, and so they'd have what's called an involuntary extension or something along those lines. So whenever I got back, that's whenever I got out, and that's when I started playing music.
Okay, so music, we get out of the service, and obviously there's the discharge process, and being an American hero. So thank you. Obviously, for me, I could speak all day long about how much I appreciate the military and really, admired them, and to this day just hold them in such high regard. But when it comes to music, like, is that apart from our childhood? Is that something that you picked up during the military? Or?
Yeah, so I was the guy who would be sitting at the end of my bed with this electric guitar that my dad bought me, and I'm pretty sure they were like, why the hell did we do that? Why did we buy him that guitar?
Okay.
And my friends would come over and want to play basketball. And I'm like, I want to finish learning this Eric Clapton song or something along those lines.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I love music. Music's been kind of that one constant throughout my my life, and you know, played music, like I said, for a living, and then said, okay, this is a hard living. I'm not going to make it famous. I'm not moving to LA or Nashville, and so I need to utilize, you know, maybe my degree.
Okay.
And so that's whenever you know, things changed from playing music for a living.
I do love it though, and I have to ask the question. So, being a musician, everyone knows. I mean, there's a ton of talent in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
There's more than we know what to do with at this time. The music industry is saturated, but like you made it a career for a time. So like you found the ability.
Let me be candid. It was 1 year.
Okay.
1 year.
Okay.
But I lived off that money for 1 year.
Wow.
So I'm like, yes, I did it for a living. That was 1 year.
And
it wasn't one day.
I may have missed it though. What did it look like as far as for that year? Was it in Springfield? Was it somewhere over?
Yep.
Okay.
Springfield, Missouri.
Springfield.
Yep.
Okay.
Back in Springfield, and then came back and ended up in Iowa, of all places, and I loved Iowa. And now I'm back in Cape with Minglewood Brewery.
With Minglewood Brewery,
Yeah.
which you are the owner of.
Yeah.
Which, as I know, because you and I have spoke about it in the past, this is your first business.
It is.
Right.
It is, and it's scary.
I can only imagine being a small business owner and what that looks like. But let's back up a little bit to Iowa. So
Yep.
you're in Iowa. What is going on in there?
Okay, so I thought Iowa would be cornfields. I mean, it's the stereotypical, you know, I mean, that's horrible for
That's
the
what
people
people
that,
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's horrible for the people who live in Iowa, but honestly, it's a great state. I lived in Davenport. I lived in the Quad Cities, and it was a great experience. I was up there for 5 years, and ended up buying a house in a really nice neighborhood, and it was the cheapest house in that neighborhood, I can promise you. And I don't know, I just loved up there. Made a lot of really good friends up there, and it was kind of bittersweet whenever I ended up moving back to Cape.
So still have them to this day then?
Yeah, I keep in touch with a couple of them. Yeah. It's tough to bring all of those friends from every chapter of your life with you at every, you know, whenever you complete that chapter.
Right.
But you do always tend to bring one or two people along with you.
Sure. So you're up in Iowa, and did you have a specific mindset while you were there, a specific role that you were playing? You know, while you're doing what you're doing up there and meeting these people
Well, one of the things that ended up helping me meet a lot of people while I was up there was I started playing music on the weekends. So I went to an open mic and I played. And then the owner of the place was like, "Can you play here on weekends?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can play here." Yeah. And so it was a little side cash too. And then I played the casino while I was up there, and a golf resort in East Dubuque. And yeah, I just it's a great way to meet people. So like I said, music has been kind of one of those constants throughout my my life.
You mentioned Quad City, so I'm interested in that. And then also I'm kind of interested in what you speak about with music. Do you sing? Do you just play guitar? I mean, what is your genre of how you put it all together?
So I've been in a full band. I've played lead guitar, rhythm guitar, sing, background. Primarily what I do now is solo acoustic. So it's just me and my guitar. Ding a ding 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 ding.
That's kind of scary, is it not?
No,
sometimes?
it's not.
No?
I mean, not anymore. I mean, it is sometimes.
It
you know.
was at one point.
Of course. The first time I ever got up on stage, I have a whole long story about it, and my knees were literally shaking. Like my knees were hitting each other like this. I couldn't even.
So
I was like, this is horrible. But I loved it at the same time.
We've got the time though. So unpack the first time, and if you could remember even to the sweat like coming down your brow, what was it like?
It was at a bar in Springfield, Missouri. I'd been taking lessons from a fellow by the name of Dave, and how I met him is another story all in itself. But he gave lessons for a living. He was still is a fantastic guitar player, and I think the world of him. And he kind of showed me a lot. Like all the pieces of the puzzle started to come together a little bit more with the theory, at least. And I was a horrible student, so he may watch this and go, "Yeah, right." But I was a quick learner, and so he said, "You should get up on Wednesday night, play with us." And I got up there. I had my amp, had my guitar, and I was so nervous. And you need to have, you know, your fingers have to have, you know, you have to.
Dexterity.
Dexterity, and you need to, I couldn't, my hands were shaking so badly I couldn't even play, practically. And my legs, I was wearing baggy pants, and my legs were shaking, and they were hitting each other knees. It was horrible. And I was sweating profusely, and I don't know, it just was not, that first song was not enjoyable. Second song, and then the third song, that's whenever I started to loosen up a little bit. And that's whenever I was like, this is great, this is awesome. Wow. I really do like this. So,
well,
yeah.
what an experience. Now, you said at the beginning, like, was there ever a time that you thought about like walking off stage?
No.
No.
Oh no.
So
no, that would be embarrassing.
You were committed. You were committed. They're like,
yeah. Just like with the running.
Okay. with running, which you and I both know is one of our passions.
Absolutely.
Right? So
you betcha.
So running to me, and I hate to steal, the platform, but it's a release. It's a way to become closer to nature. It's a way to release the endorphins. It's a way to allow my body to just decompress from any stressors from the day.
Absolutely, I 100% agree.
And so when it comes to running for you, what is something that you just, every time you think about running, you associate with?
I think what it is for me is it's a stress reliever. So, obviously working in the restaurant industry, it can be stressful. And for me, I just go out and just lay it all out there. And it's if I don't run, it's just too much buildup, right? It's like a teapot about to blow or something.
100%. Yeah, you can hear the whistle right now.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And it's been it's going on 2 weeks now that I haven't ran because I'm kind of recovering from a run, and so it's difficult. People don't tell you about
Stuart
that.
will be very, very bashful and humble about it, but he did just complete a run, City of Roses, Cape Girardeau half marathon, and you finished within the time that you wanted.
I did. I was very pleased with that. I wanted to. I had 2 goals. One was to beat Andy Johnson. Shout out to Andy. He's a stud. He's just a great runner. He's just fantastic, and he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Mm-hmm. Which I did not do. I did not beat Andy. He killed it. And then number 2 was to run under 130, and I did. So 128.31. So wonderful. I was very pleased with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, and for being a first half marathon, I can only tell you that coming from myself and other runners, that's just phenomenal. So thanks. I think we all, and especially like you were saying, like it's a de-stressor, but it's also, how can I compete against myself and propel myself to the next level and challenge myself as not only a human being, but also, do you see that there are positive effects of how you treat others just because of running?
I'm just a better person. I mean, overall, I'm just a much better person. Which, by the way, brings up, you want to go run?
Yeah, I mean, right now?
I mean, I haven't ran in a week and a half, but I think we should do it right now.
Yeah, you said you hadn't run since the half marathon.
Yeah, since Sunday, a week and a half ago.
Why the heck not?
I think we should go.
Absolutely, let's go.
All right.
Let's start going.
Right. Yeah.
Every single day, I think if you can get out for a run, you feel healthy enough for it, it's a blessing.
Yes, I have motivated some friends to start running as well. And
have you really?
Oh yeah, I have. I'm not much of a motivator. I don't need motivation.
Okay.
But
oh my gosh,
they like it and they feel better, and trying to get one of them to quit smoking even. I think we're working on her.
You know what, so. we talked about this just briefly in the past when I asked you if I could have your permission to interview. You said I don't need a lot of motivation a moment ago. And you were talking about, in the past, you really enjoy kind of this go all in type of mentality.
I have an addictive personality, and so everything I do, I always go overboard with it and I go all in. And it's good and it's bad, but for running it's been great.
Really? Yeah. So I got to slow down. So this addictive personality, it more or less, it's not actually been helpful.
I think it has been for this. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, since February I've been doing 5K training and half marathon training, and it's just absolutely fantastic.
I love that. No, honestly, so many times you hear that as a negative connotation of, I have this addictive personality and it's ruined my life. But for you, you've kind of catered it and challenged it and put it in the right trajectory towards accomplishing goals, right? Like for instance, a 5K.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to have the best 5K they've ever had. Yourself being running how long now?
About a year.
About a year. Okay.
I mean, really hard, yes, about a year.
So completely disciplined. It's a part of your everyday grind.
Yes,
And
part of my life.
So tell me about. I mean, let's just start at your 5K and the training, and then whatever you were working towards.
So 5K, started training in February, and did an 8-week, I think it was 8-week 5K training class, and ran my first mile at 6:47. Fast forward 7 months, ran a half marathon at a 6:45 pace. So it's just in those 7 months, and it's just because you get up early in the morning, you go to the gym, then you go run afterwards in the evening, and you just continue that cycle and just do it and keep on. You know, there's a company out there that says they have a slogan, and they hit the nail on the head. You just got to get out there and just do it.
So you just do it, but it's so fascinating to me that there are people, and I will say this: you're not necessarily the regular mold. You've allowed yourself to go, hey, I've got this addictive personality. How can I use it to my strength?
I'm nothing special, by the way. I just enjoy being active, and I sleep better at night. There's just so many things that come along with being healthy as well. And so, you know, I'm certainly not the best runner by any stretch of the imagination. I just thoroughly enjoy it.
I love to hear that. So, Stuart, if you could say something to, let's say, 1,000 people or more, you could put a message out there that was something that people could see or something that they could understand and hear, what would you tell people?
I mean, look, I am scared of failing, but I also am very competitive and don't like it at all. And so, you know, I just like, just put yourself out there is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and you know, for everybody that's listening, I really do hope that you yourself put yourself out there. Hope that you challenge yourself to stretch, because that's where we all grow. Stuart tonight has graced us with his presence and shared more than I could hope for, and I hope that you've enjoyed this and you've been able to take a golden nugget from it, and we can't wait to see you next time.